Good day to everybody out there. How are you today? I'm doing okay. Handling business, of course, enjoying my life, enjoying the day. Right now, I'm headed to the beach to film some content. Kind of talk about how I'm feeling right now and just kind of give you guys a different backdrop. One of them days, little content. You want to come through? Let's rock. Good day to everybody out there. We back. We here at the beach. This is where I want to film at today. It's so nice. Laid out in the sun yesterday and the day before for a few hours, and I figured today I would take off, at least come out here to the beach and breathe in some of this fresh ocean or sea air and get some of this iodine and connect with the earth a little bit and walk up and down the water. As you can see, there's a lot of trash out here. They don't really take care of the beach as much as I would like to see. But I am thankful for it to be secluded. Not necessarily private, but secluded. Nobody really comes here. And this is something that I like to take advantage of pretty much every morning or every rising. But I don't. I used to, but recently I haven't. But I'm still grateful. I'm grateful for life. I'm grateful for where I am today. With everything that I've been through and everything that I put myself through, because a lot of times in life, we go through things in life and we always point the finger and point the blame. But I can honestly say that 100% of everything that I've gotten involved with since I've been an adult has been my fault. Whether relationships failed, whether I've messed up on real estate deals, messed up on investments, they've all been my fault because I didn't. Whatever it was, whether it wasn't proper communication, whether it wasn't doing the right research, whether it wasn't being patient enough and seeing all the way around the board to make sure that I'm connecting all the dots, it's been my fault. Now, of course, when I was a child, there were certain things that was out of my hand that traumatized me and that still linger with me today. But I have the choice and I have the ability to make the decision to not act upon all of those things that I'm still feeling, because I go through it every day, just like a lot of us. But right now, I look at my life and I look back at it to keep things in perspective. And I realize that I have so much to be blessed for and thankful for. I don't know if anybody out there knows or listens that know that I've been to prison before for being a petty drug dealer. And the amount of time that I spent in that hellhole, man, I tell you, I would have never imagined that I'd be here today. It's been over 14 years since I did all that time. And now that I'm here and the days that I'm feeling down, I usually have to ground myself by taking my mind back there and tell myself, you're not in that position. You have freedom. Yes, you're feeling whatever turmoil you're feeling internally, but you don't have to stay in that. And furthermore, why are you feeling like that if you have the ability to go out and do whatever you want? Be whoever you want. What is it inside of you? What is it inside of me that is stopping me from being happy? Why am I relying on the next person to come into my life to make me feel complete or make me feel whole? What is it about me that I'm missing And I have to start asking myself these. I had to start asking myself these questions, and I still do every day when I'm feeling down. But recently, just coming into a lot of literature and a lot of self-help books, a lot of self-help audio books, therapy, I'm starting to look at things from a very different perspective. And I understand that putting myself in situations that aren't aligning with my life and my lifestyle has really hindered me from being the best that I can be. Your environment plays a really huge impact on where you end up in life and where you're going. Your environment. And who you choose to surround yourself with, that plays a huge impact on where you'll end up being in life. And that's what I've been doing lately, is just reassessing a lot of things in my life, clearing out a lot of clutter, whether it's been mental clutter, physical clutter, in the house, in the car, even though the car is a little unorganized. I've been clearing out a lot there. And I've been eating all fruit for the last 2 months, with the exception of about 4 days. I had some salads and I had a day of cooked food, vegan food, of course. But eating these fruits has really raised my frequency and my vibrations. Do I feel 100% healed? No, I don't. This is a journey. There's no destination that we'll ever reach where we're 100% healed and happy and everything is bliss. But what we can do is make sure that we're putting ourselves in the best position possible to take advantage of high frequency, high vibrations, and the best food on the planet, which is fruits, in my opinion. Doesn't mean I'm not going to have a salad from time to time. Doesn't mean that I'm not going to explore with raw foods. That's not what it is. But right now, there has to be a focus, an intense focus on eating the best electrical foods that nature has put here on the planet. That is papaya, mango, avocado. Although I'm not even eating avocados right now either, because they contain a tremendous amount of fats, and fats slow down the cleansing process. And I'm in the process of cleansing my body out from the top to the bottom. As you can see, I've lost a lot of weight. I mean, I never was really a heavy guy, but I usually maintain a weight around 150 to 160. And right now, I'm well below that. And I'm okay with that. And before, when I would get into these spaces of doing fruit for months, or doing juice cleanses, or doing water cleanses, I'd always have people in my ear talking about how skinny I've gotten, or I look like I'm sick, or this and that negativity, or it may have been out of care and out of genuine concern. But if you don't have the strength and your ego gets to you, you'll go back and you'll revert to those old eating habits to help you pick up weight. That wasn't why I went back to eating certain ways. I went back to eating certain ways that helped me gain weight because of addiction. And mainly because I wanted to, not because of an outside word or voice saying, man, you look like you're sick, or you look like you've lost a lot of weight, or whatever. I never let that be something that steered me in another direction, right? But to hear those things for someone that's starting off on a lifestyle of eating all fruit, and losing the weight that one loses when they're in this frame, this mind frame, if you don't have the mental capacity, then you're going to fall off the bandwagon. And there's nothing wrong with falling, but you have to pick yourself back up. You have to. Like I said, this isn't something that I'll do for my whole life, but I will lean more towards being a fruitarian, where most of my lifestyle is consuming fruits. That's going to be the base. And have some coconut water and juices and raw foods periodically, and salads, and that's and also adding working out to my regimen. That's something that I've done the last 3 weeks. This is my third week. I started my third week today, and I feel good about that. And during this fruit cleanse, you lose a lot of weight, and you also lose a lot of energy. And now I'm getting my energy back. I'm coming into that plateau and that stabilization phase to where my energy has, the energy that has kept me stagnated that first 7 to 9 days is now coming back. And I'm going to slowly begin to rebuild and gain my strength. I'm not worried about being muscular. I'm not worried about being massive. I'm not worried about looking like a bodybuilder. I'm worried about feeling the complete best that I can feel in this body. I don't care about the look. Yes, I'm not worried about the look. I do care about how I look, but I'm not worried about it. I care more about, and I'm worrying more about how I feel. If I feel 100%, that is all that matters. And I understand that the foods that I put into my gut automatically influence my brain. The gut and the brain are interconnected. And what you put into your stomach will automatically, or some way, somehow, have an impact on your thoughts and how you view things. So a lot of us put dead animals in our body, and we wonder why our frequency and our thoughts are so negative. It's been certain people in this fruit community that I've been watching online that I'm just starting to tune out. A lot of people anyway, because it's like, why am I watching your life? There's nothing about watching someone else's life that's adding value to mine, especially if they're not where I want to be. I am where I want to be. I am here on my own land, off grid, growing my own food without any electrical hookup to a government entity or a private party entity, without any water hookup to a government entity or a private party entity. I am growing my own food. I am in a place of complete independence, almost, with the food aspect when it comes to growing. Why am I watching someone else who isn't where I want to be? I don't really care to. That is what I'm calling a distraction that I need to let go. And those are me having to take responsibility and be accountable for my time and where I'm putting my attention. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times what we do as consumers is we'll sit back and we'll watch so-and-so's life, and then we'll think, man, I like what they, or whatever they got going on. We just continue to keep watching it. And then you sit down and you think, why am I watching this guy's life? Why am I watching what she's doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it about their life that I'm not thinking that I'm interested enough, or that I'm not enough to do what I'm doing and put my own life out there in a way that I feel is presentable? And even sometimes, like even in the past, I always felt like I'm in a position where I don't have to answer to anyone. I'm going to do what I want to do with my content. I don't care. If you watch it, you watch it. If you don't, you don't. And while I still feel that way to a certain degree, I want to present myself in a more refined manner to, you know, basically grow. To know that, yes, just because I am in a position to do what I want to do and be who I want to be and act how I want to act, doesn't mean that I have to do that. Doesn't mean, and not that I'm trying to win the approval of someone. I'm only trying to win the approval of myself. When I look back at my videos 5 years from now, how will I feel about how I delivered that? How will I feel about how I came off to myself? And if that doesn't resonate, then I'm doing something wrong. And that's where the growth comes in at, for me. So I am very, very thankful with where I am today in my life, having the time, having the ability, having the freedom to carry out my days in the exact way I want. From the time I wake up to the time I go to sleep, I'm in a position to do whatever I want. If I want to take a trip to Thailand tomorrow, I can do that. Nothing feels better to me than being able to do that. Do I want to do this life alone? No. But I do want to be happy with waking up with myself every day, being okay in my own presence, knowing that I am enough. Everything that I need is already within me. Knowing that, as long as I feel it and I know it, I don't necessarily care to have another soul next to me at this moment. Because if I don't feel that and I don't know that I'm enough, all of those deficiencies and insufficiencies within me are going to show up in anger, lashing out, me putting my onto you, wondering why you're not making me happy. right? Or something that you do that I don't care to be around bothering me. No, I have to fix whatever it is that is disturbing myself and why I feel like I'm not enough. And once I fix that and I know that I'm enough and I feel like I'm enough, then, only then, it makes sense to bring someone else along. Because then I have no fear about whether you're here or you're not. I have no worry because I'm showing up as my best self, right? This is a position that I've been able to thankfully be in. And a lot of us, we have to go to work 9 to 5. Not to say that I don't work here, because I do work. I just do work on my own time. A lot of us, we have to go to work 9 to 5, 10 to 6, 11 to 7, 6 to 2, overnight. And our days are spent mostly preparing for work and being at work than we actually have for ourselves. So if you got to be to work at 6 in the morning and get off at 2, that's 8 hours. That's 8 hours. You have to take time to go to work and make it home from work. Let's just say that's a half hour each way. That's 9 hours that you've dedicated. That's more than a third of your day that you've dedicated towards building a company up that you have no equity, no stock. And the moment that you don't show up for a few days without an excuse, you let go without any type of compensation. So to be able to come home after a long day of dedicating your time to someone else, you really don't have the capacity and the energy to put into your own life and your own likes and hobbies and things that you can invest your time in so you can actually get out of that position. We don't have the time. We don't have the ability. So that's why I am thankful, because I came from nothing. And when I say nothing, yes, my mother and my father, they could have been worse off than what I was given. The parents, they could have been worse off. So I'm thankful for that. They weren't drug addicts. They weren't crackheads. They weren't coke heads. They weren't meth heads. They were functioning adults that were born into a system where I think they did the best that they knew how with what they knew how, or with what they had. But when it comes to finances, scratch the finances, because I could have been okay without the finances. But when it comes to that love and that connection, that is what I missed. I missed that love and that connection and that, I can't think of the word, but I missed that. So when I say I came from nothing, that's what I mean. I don't know what love feels like. I just know the word. And I'm learning to love myself every day. Sometimes I'll be slipping. I ain't gonna front. But for the most part, my awareness has been drawn back to what I need to do to actually really love myself. How am I showing up for myself? What time and attention am I putting into myself every day? Instead of being distracted by watching so-and-so's profile or this YouTube channel. Now, if it's something that's beneficial and healthy for me and going to add value to my life, yes, I don't mind watching it. But if it's just lollygagging crap, then it's like, why? What can you be doing? And I think that goes for a lot of us. We get so caught up in someone else's lifestyle, even you watching me right now. There's probably something better you can be doing with your time so I could, or someone else could be watching you. And I understand not everybody's meant to be a boss, and not everybody's meant to be free. Not everybody's meant to, be in control of their lives because of the system that we're born into and because of the system that is currently constructed. Not everybody's going to make it. I'm not that naive and I'm not that ignorant. But I'm not talking to those ones. And if I am talking to you, hopefully I can inspire something within that lights a fire under you that says, he's right. I need to do something more with my life. Like, I look at myself as superhuman. Really. Not saying it on no cocky, not saying it on no arrogant, but being confident about just because of the background that I've come from. Number one, in America, we see what's going on in the news, and the skin complexion that I have really doesn't work in my favor when it comes to socially and trying to climb. That's a strike in a lot of people's eyes. I look at it as an advantage, but it is a strike because of what we're born into. And then to put myself in a situation where I do 6.5 years in jail for being a petty drug dealer, to coming home, the statistics were against me. I wasn't supposed to make it here, according to the statistics. And I could have sat back and realized that I'm just going to be another ninja. But that wasn't what God had in store for me. So I realized that I took and utilized everything that I learned throughout this journey of life, studied, to put myself in a better position when it comes to real estate, when it comes to finance, when it comes to now health and wellness. Because that's really the real wealth out here, is health. Wealth is health. So that's why I consider myself a superhuman. There's a lot of people that have went to jail and have come home and made something with their lives and become successful. And they are superhuman to me, especially the ones that have done over 5 years. It takes a different type of mentality to endure prison without getting on medication to cover up the pain of being in the same atmosphere every day with some vultures, con artists, rapists, murderers, burglars, robbers, thieves, drug dealers. I don't want to leave out me because I'm no better than them, but I understand that negative is negative, and I can't sugarcoat it any kind of way. And to be around all of that negative all day, every day, and to come home, took me a few different times to get it together. But to come home, have a strategy before I make it home, execute that strategy with 100% precision, and even exceed it where I even thought that I would be. I see that as being superhuman. And I'm very, very thankful, and I'm very, very blessed. And at the blink of an eye, I could lose it all. So I have to be cognizant of the mentality that I keep every day and stop being so hard on myself when it comes to whatever it may be. And I really, really am in a space of just forgiveness, forgiving myself for the things that I put myself through. Forgiving people that I feel done me wrong. Forgiving myself for putting people through certain things that I may have done wrong. And I didn't do my best. I am in a space of that type of forgiveness. But yeah, it's just a beautiful day, man. It's lovely out here. We're in the rainy months, and Thankfully we got a few days of pure sunshine, some clouds, away from the rain, and it's just a lot of things going on in the back scene that I'm not really sharing right now, and that's okay. But overall, I'm just blessed. I'm thankful. I don't want to chase no relationships. I don't want to chase no friendships. I don't want to chase acquaintances. I want to be present. I want to be here and in the now and totally fine and okay with where I am, with the plan to continue to grow and make steps towards moving forward. Yes, it would be nice to be in a relationship, but I need to be in a relationship with myself first so I can offer you the best that I am. So there's no reason to be chasing nothing outside of me. I have to do my work. I have to continue to work on me every day, Monday through Sunday, 24/7, 365, 366 on a leap year. That has to be a priority. And the right one that aligns with my frequency and my vibration will be right here next to me on this camera, if chosen, if they choose. Better yet, if I choose, because, if we choose, how about that? So I love my life. I'm starting to see things from a different perspective. I'm starting to enjoy. Everything isn't perfect. It's never going to be perfect. I'm not going to feel the best every day, but I'm going to wake up most days feeling the best. And that's what I'm striving towards. Most days. Have a hiccup too every once in a while. Being able to weather the storm, stay within, stay present, and bounce back. So, I appreciate everybody that takes the time out to watch my videos. Everybody. You could be doing anything with your time right now, but you're here with me. And I know I could be all over the place with different topics. I could be talking about real estate one day. Actually, I don't even talk about real estate on this channel much. I should be, because I know how to make money with it. And I could probably help some of y'all. I just helped my son buy his first duplex through all knowledge. I didn't give him $1. I helped my son buy a duplex. He's a high school dropout. Name another one that's under 20 years old that's bought their first duplex without a high school diploma. I know at 20 years old, I was in boot camp. 19, I was in boot camp for getting caught with some weed. Did 6.5 months boot camp. 6 months and 3 weeks. So there's a lot I could be giving out here and dispensing to the public when it comes to making money in real estate, when it comes to acquisitions of real estate. And I will do that in the future. I'm going to use him as a testimony. I've already gotten the video. But, I'm a private guy when it comes to family. That's my son, and I love him. I'm proud of him. Even though we haven't always had the best relationship because of me and my stuff and wanting to be in control and wanting to, if things aren't going my way when it comes to parenting, then I had a lot of issues to work through. But at the end of the day, now I'm showing up when it's really important too, because now he's an adult now. And I just helped him buy his first duplex without giving him any money. I gave him something worth more than money, the knowledge. So there's no way, if I taught my son, who's a high school dropout, how to buy his first duplex, and he don't even have to pay for his mortgage every month now, I know I could teach you and get paid for it. And that's coming in due time. I know it. But right now, and the health and all of that, because a lot of people, they say, well, I don't have time to eat healthy. It takes a lot of time to prepare that food. It doesn't take no time to grab a mango off the counter and eat it. A banana, grapes, don't take no time. Now, if you want to talk about meal prep, yes, that takes time. And the reason why you don't have the time is because you have to go to work every day. Why do you have to go to work every day? Because you have to pay rent. You have to pay a mortgage, car note, insurance, cell phone bill. But if you're putting yourself in a position where you have assets that generate money every month to take care of all of your monthly expenses, then you won't have to worry about not having the time to feed your wealth. Because without your wealth, which is your health, you can't work for nobody else anyway. So it starts with a mentality, a mindset, being able to get yourself off the clock so you can actually focus on putting the right foods in your body, having the time to cut up your mangoes, your avocados, your papaya, having the time to prepare your meals, having someone else paying for your monthly expenses. These are the things that I do. And this is why I can come on here every day, all day, 24/7 and talk however I want, whenever I want. Because I took care of my finances first. I'm not saying what order things should go in, but if you really want to get to a space of, see, now I have the space and the time to work on my mind. Because I have the particular pillars in place to pay me while I'm here. And now I don't necessarily have a lot of expenses because I got rid of a mortgage. I didn't ever really have mortgages anyway. I had one mortgage in my life. That was the first house I bought. But now I have the time because I don't have a mortgage payment. I don't have an electrical bill. I don't have a water bill. That's 3 major expenses right there. A car payment. I don't have none of these things. All of my time and energy goes into healing right now, learning new skills. And if I'm not doing and I'm not growing, then I'm staying stagnant, and that means I'm dying. See, we're supposed to be in a space of reversing our age. Putting the right foods in your body, you start to reverse your age. You start to feel better. There's a lot of people in their 20s, 30s, and 40s that just aren't operating right. Their bodies have shut down. High diabetes, sugar, heart attacks, drug addicts. These are choices that we decide to make based on whatever environment we come from. But once we become aware of these things, we have the ability and we have the control to take over our lives and not blame anybody else. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting ready to let you guys go. I don't want to start sounding like a preacher. I'm just very thankful for where I am today. Look at the ocean, nature, palm trees, coconut trees right on the beach. This is incredible. Go out in the water and put my feet into the water, but it doesn't look so clean over here, unfortunately. But yeah, man, I'm thankful to have you guys watching. I'm thankful to be here on this planet. I'm thankful to be in this particular space right here, right now, and at this time. And with that, I appreciate y'all, man. Look, water your health. Drink a glass of water.